welcome to my show, Talking to Who You Can. Today, I'll be entering the universe of David Robertson to interview a character from his book, Strangers. Today with me, I have Josh next to me, who's one of the main characters in his book. We meet you pretty early on into the story, but we don't actually have much of an idea on who you are for a little while. The first time we meet you, you're shape-shifted into a coyote and start talking to Ashley, whose phone you stole, and then lured into the forest just to get Colt to come back to Wounded Sky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So my first question for you is, well, first off, I'm glad to be able to have you here for this interview.
Yeah.
Since you seem to be a very busy person with all the drama you have going on back in Wounded Sky, and also you're not overly real. But you showed us that you have a lot of power in the book, but I would like to know if there's any that you don't have that you would like to have, and also what is your favorite that you can do?
I'm actually pretty jealous of Cole and his powers. He seems pretty cool with that throwing stuff. It'd be pretty cool to be able to throw some six myself and be able to catch them. But like super strength, super speed, those are both pretty cool things that I think I'd like to have. Out of all my powers, I think turning into a fox is pretty cool. You get to run a lot faster. People don't suspect you for stuff as much. So it's all just, I think it's got to be turning into a fox or just shape-shifting in general.
David, you kind of use these powers to, just play jokes on people,
Oh, of course. That's what I did on Ashley in the first little bit of the book.
Oh, yeah. All right. So my second question for you is, you tend to just kind of disappear and reappear at random times throughout the book. And whenever Cole actually seems to need your help, you're not there. And then when he does need your help, when he does need your help, you're not there. When he doesn't need your help, you kind of just show up randomly, especially after something dramatic happens. And is there any kind of reason why you do this, or do you just like to annoy him a little bit?
It's there's sort of a reason. It's kind of just part of the job, but you gotta make stuff fun when you can. So I like to play some jokes on him. Not be super useful, and it's just part of his growth as a person, and it just makes things more interesting for me.
So we know that you obviously chose Cole to make him like your worker, per se, you could say, as you gave him all the powers, too. But I was wondering is there any kind of reason that you chose Cole, and also, if when you asked him if he knew, did you know that what happened was going to happen when he said that he would do anything?
Sorry, what do you mean?
So when you give him the powers, you ask him how bad he wants them. He said, "Yes, I'll do anything." Did you know that this would happen with all the murders and the drama?
Yeah, I actually did. So I found out quite a while ago about all this stuff, and I just found out about it from this guy. But I had to do obviously anything I could to make sure the least amount of people were killed. And then I see this fire, there's this strong-willed kid that just wants to save his friends, and I needed somebody to be able to help out with this stuff that was going to happen later. So he was right there, and it all sort of worked out in the end.
Just a first come, first serve sort of thing.
Yeah, sort of thing.
Yeah, all right. So you're able to use your powers to have secret conversation with Cole to try and help him figure out any solution to his problems throughout the book, but also to have him discover what his powers were. Specifically in the prison, you were trying to convince Cole to break out and go to the memorial to save Eva. But I would like to know why you didn't just grab the keys for him or stop him from going to prison in the first place.
That would have been the easier option, but then it doesn't help Cole be the hero that he is. And it obviously causes some more issues with people not knowing what's going on. It doesn't make any sense. I try to stay as low-key as I can. So I think in the end, convincing Cole to use his powers for himself was the thing to do. And obviously it ended up with him getting out of the prison. So.
All right, when Cole returned, we were able to see how he wasn't liked by a lot of the community from the start, due to him leaving after saving people, making it feel like he needed to be praised by everyone when he returned. But did you know that people weren't going to like him and had this planned out, or was it just a coincidence that happened to help you out?
I mean, everybody's always, when something this tragic happens, everybody's looking for somebody to blame. And when this kid shows up out of nowhere and it seems to bring everybody to hate him, that's just something that's going to happen, you know. I didn't know that everybody would turn on him this fast. I thought people had a little bit more forgiveness and a little bit more appreciation for what he did in their heart. But that's just the way it turned out. And ended up good for almost everyone. I mean, not for the people that died, but...
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
All right, we find out at the end of the story that Cole was actually able to cure the virus that had been spreading around in this guy with his blood. And after reading the files, it said that his test was successful while the others had failed. And then Cole then mentioned how when he was younger, his dad would give him pills every day. And so what I'm wondering is, did you have some sort of connection with Cole's parents earlier in the story giving him these pills for the test, or was his dad on something else?
You see, I was just doing anything I could to help these people, so I was actually connected with Cole's father. Not directly, he didn't know who I was, I didn't really know who he was, but we found a way to make it so this kid could be able to cure these people in Wounded Sky of this terrible disease that came across all of them. And so yeah, I made sure that he knew what to give Cole, and he gave it to him.
You mentioned that the school is being rebuilt and opened back up to Cole, then also telling him that his adventure was just starting after he talked about wanting to go back home. So my last question is for you: can you give us any spoilers on what will happen in Cole's future, or is it on the readers to find out what will happen next?
You know, I don't wanna spoil any more books that David Matthews wants to write, but I think there will be some more stuff going on for Cole. I don't think he's gonna have quite the boring life that he's been hoping for.
Well, you guys heard it here first. I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you for joining me on this week's episode of Talking to Who You Can, and to all the people, you can join us every Tuesday at 12 p.m.